उमाशंकर जी।
कल हमने आपका स्टेटमेंट देखा जिसमें पाकिस्तान में ईरान के हमले पर कहा गया है कि भारत की जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति है और हम जानते हैं कि आत्मरक्षा के लिए कई देश कार्रवाई करते हैं। थोड़ा सा इस पर अगर रोशनी डालें कि आत्मरक्षा में की गई कार्रवाई क्या हम इंडोर्स कर रहे हैं ईरान के पाकिस्तान पर हमले को?
कादम्बिनी शर्मा फ्रॉम एनडीटीवी। कल आपने जो ईरान ने अटैक किया था पाकिस्तान के अंदर टेररिस्ट जो हाइडआउट्स पर उस पे स्टेटमेंट दिया था। आज जो पाकिस्तान ने रिटालिएशन में किया है उस पर कोई स्टेटमेंट है?
सिद्धांत।
Sir, we have seen the situation in Maldives. We have seen certain comments by the Maldivian president and a deadline also of 15th of March for Indian troops to leave. What's India's assessment on the developments coming from Maldives?
परीक्षित।
Sir, do you, in the light of what has happened between Iran and Pakistan, do you see any correlation with the drone attacks that had taken place in the Indian Ocean region? Was any kind of evidence related to the drone attacks, the origin, shared with the Iranian Foreign Minister when External Affairs Minister Jaishankar traveled there?
Okay, so first we'll take these questions and then we'll come back for more. उमाशंकर जी, आपका जहां तक सवाल है पाकिस्तान को लेके, ईरान को लेके कल जो हुआ उसमें हम लोगों ने अपनी प्रेस रिलीज जारी की थी। उसमें हम लोगों ने कहा था कि ये मामला तो ऐसे पाकिस्तान और ईरान का है, लेकिन जहां तक आतंकवाद का सवाल है वहां पर हम लोगों ने अपनी बात की पुष्टि की है। तो मैं यहीं पर इस बात को यही खत्म करना चाहूँगा। कादम्बिनी जी, ये जो पाकिस्तान का मामला है, ईरान का मामला है, इस पे हम लोग कोई कमेंट देना नहीं चाहते, ये उनका अपना मामला है। रिगार्डिंग Maldives, Siddhant, you would have seen that on 14th we had a meeting of the core group. In the core group, we had detailed discussions on several aspects of the bilateral relationship. We also made available what was discussed in the meeting through a press release. And then in that press release, we mentioned that both sides held discussions on finding mutually workable solution to enable continued operation of Indian aviation platforms that provide humanitarian and medvac services to the people of Maldives. The next meeting is to be held in India to take discussion forward. So that is where the situation as far as Maldives is concerned is. Parikshit, on your question in regard to what's happening in the Red Sea area, we have made our position very clear. It's a matter of concern to us. We give a lot of importance to freedom of navigation and freedom of commerce in that region. Whatever is happening there not just impacts us, but impacts the economic interests and several other interests of so many people across the world. So that is where we are. We are closely monitoring the situation and looking at the unfolding situation with a constant watch. We have some more questions. Right? Yeah.
So this is Ayush Shegwal from ANI. I wanted to follow up on Maldives. I just wanted to know, has India received a formal request by Mali when it comes to the withdrawal of Indian personnel? Because we saw the press release. It did not mention about the withdrawal of Indian military personnel, but the Maldives press release mentioned about that. So if you can talk about that. Also, there were reports that Maldivian President Muizu wanted to travel to India last year, but he was still waiting for a confirmation from Indian side. If you can tell us something about that as well.
Okay. 1, 2, and then Srinjoy. Yeah.
Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. Last Sunday on the 14th of January, India got another consular access with the 8 Indian naval veterans in Qatar. What's the update? When is the next date of hearing?
Pia with the print. The Palestine ambassador to India had told certain sections of Indian media that he hopes India supports South Africa's case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Just wanted to know, what is India's stance on this case? Are we supporting South Africa's case against Israel? Thank you.
Enjoy.
Sir, 3 drones are with the armed forces, the ones that hit certain ships, and they have been examined. Can you tell us what the origin of the drones are? Who has manufactured these drones? Who gave it to the Houthis? Who, if they have actually fired them? Do we have details on origin and the people who fired them? Do we know for sure?
So let me answer these questions and then we'll come back for more. Aishi, regarding your question on Maldives, we have whatever was discussed was put out in the press release. That is where the situation actually stands. It is an ongoing process. As I told you, both sides held discussions on finding mutually workable solutions. So you must look at that to enable continued operation of Indian aviation platforms that provide humanitarian and medvac services to the people of Maldives. And this is an ongoing discussion, so things will go forward, or things will be discussed in the next meeting of the core group subsequently soon. Ishi, regarding the consular access, yes, our ambassador along with our embassy officials met uh, the 8 detained. Uh, as we had conveyed to you last time, uh, the legal team is looking into the appeal aspect. There is a period of 60 days within which they have to file this appeal. So on 28th December, the Court of Appeal had given their verdict. Now the matter is to go to the Court of Secession, which will be decided by the legal team. So that is where it is. We still have some time. The consular access we had, our ambassador went and met and looked after their well-being, and that is where it is. Pia, on your question regarding does India support South Africa's case against Israel? Look, our position on Israel-Gaza issue has been very clearly articulated on multiple occasions. Uh, our position is on the Israel-Hamas conflict is that it has been consistent and steadfast. We have condemned terrorism. We have called for release of hostages. We have sought protection of civilians, and we've called for provision of humanitarian assistance. And of course, we stand for a long-term two-state solution. So this is India's position, and this is the position that we support. Srinjoy, regarding the question regarding drones, etc., as we do not have, this is what we are hearing from you, but this is something that does not pertain to the Ministry of External Affairs. So I don't have any comments to offer at this point in time. Uh, these are very specific issues. I would say that if you could uh, uh, take these questions to the relevant ministries or relevant departments. Thank you. एक मिनट और लोगों को पहले थोड़ा सा मौका दे देते हैं, उसके बाद कर लेते हैं. Yeah, Samira.
Samira Hussein with the BBC. I'm wondering about the minister's visit to Iran. It was said that he did raise the issue of the Red Sea with Iran. What specifically was requested, and has there been discussions about, let's say, sparing Indian ships or Indian vessels, and whether or not there are ongoing discussions happening in the background with regards to protecting India's economic interests in the area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, मेरा नाम Emerson है. I'm from Taiwan Central News Agency. Taiwan just concluded its presidential election last week. So may I know India's reaction or view on the election result, its possible impact on the region, and the prospect of India-Taiwan relations in various fields? Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Sohasini Heather from the Hindu newspaper. Just following up on a story the Hindu had actually done. This week, we have seen Haryana, and next week, I think it's Uttar Pradesh, beginning screening of Indians wishing to travel to Israel to take up labor jobs over there. My question is the Ministry of External Affairs that has a list of immigration check required countries of 18, which include the Gulf, they include Thailand, Indonesia, anywhere where there's either a conflict or labor standards are not quite up to India standards. Is there any proposal by the MEA to add Israel to that ECR list, given that the conflict in Israel still continues and these workers may be going into dangerous areas?
विनीत दीक्षित फ्रॉम न्यूज़ गेट सर हमारा सवाल है कि जो इंडिया का वेस्ट एशिया इकोनॉमिक और यूरोप वाला कॉरिडोर है उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में हालांकि वो हमारा दूसरा रूट है सुएज कैनाल वाला नहीं है पर जो वेस्ट एशिया में उठाफटक चल रही है उस पर कहीं आँच तो नहीं आ रही वो इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर जो बीआरआई के कंपेटिटिव नेचर का है वो अभी सेफगार्ड हैं सारे इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट हमारे सेफगार्ड हैं व्हाट इज़ द असेसमेंट
सवाल एक बार फिर से आप दोहराएंगे?
जो इंडिया वेस्ट एशिया इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर है हालांकि हम लोग सुएज कैनाल वाला रूट नहीं इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं पर जो भी उठापटक जो भी हरकतें वहाँ हो रही हैं जैसे जैसे इंसिडेंसेस आ रहे हैं उसके चलते हमारे जो रूट पे जो कोई आँच तो नहीं आ रही हमारे इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट जो हम लोग अब सेफगार्ड कर रहे हैं हाफिया पोर्ट हम लोगों ने अभी डेवलप करना शुरू कर दिया है सो how safe is our investment there in this area and whether whatever is happening in West Asia is it going to adversely affect what is the assessment what would you like to say
Okay, let me take these questions and then we'll come back for more. On the question of Red Sea and discussion in Iran when External Affairs Minister had visited, you would have seen he made a detailed joint press statement while he was there. This issue of Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, the violence there, the destabilized nature of things there was discussed, and we are deeply concerned about the whole situation. It does impact not just us, but it's an important shipping lane for not just India, but for the world. So we have our own interests there, which are being impacted. But at the same time, we have the Indian Navy, which is patrolling the area. They're trying to secure the sea lanes and do their best so that our economic interests are not impacted. एमरसन, आपका सवाल हिंदी में आपने अंग्रेजी में पूछा था हिंदी में पूछा था? So on Taiwan, our position is that we have taken note of the recent developments in Taiwan. India has strong and growing people-to-people ties, cultural, educational, trade, and investment links with Taiwan. Government of India facilitates these exchanges and looks forward to continuing them for shared prosperity and development. Suhasini, regarding your question on labor mobility, we have labor mobility partnership with several countries across the world, and we have an agreement now with Israel as well. The agreement itself started long before the conflict erupted. We initialed it much before. The idea behind this agreement was that we put in place an institutional mechanism for which regulates migration to that country. We already have a large number of people, especially in the caregiving sector, in Israel. And we want to, through this agreement, we want to ensure that there is regulated migration and the rights of the people who go there are protected. Insofar as the question of putting Israel on the list of ECR countries so that they come and e-migrate is concerned, let me tell you that labor laws in Israel are very strict. robust. It's an OECD country, so therefore labor laws are such that it provides for protection of migrant rights, labor rights. On our part, of course, we are very conscious of our responsibility to provide security and safety to our people who are abroad. When the conflict erupted in Israel, you saw that we launched Operation Ajay so that we could evacuate all those people who wanted to come back from there. Having said that, we remain committed to safe and legal mobility and migration of our people. विंसेंट जी, विनीत जी, आपका सवाल खाड़ी को लेके है, आपका सवाल लाल सागर को लेके है। ये तो चिंताजनक बात है जो वहाँ हो रही है, और इससे हमारे जो आर्थिक इंटरेस्ट हैं उस पर फर्क पड़ता है। ये खाड़ी का क्षेत्र जो है, इससे दुनिया के एक महत्वपूर्ण एक कमर्शियल लाइन है, एक शिपिंग लाइन है, सी लेन है। तो वहाँ जो गतिविधि चल रही है वो चिंताजनक है, और इससे हम लोग इस पर निरंतर अपना नज़र बनाए हुए हैं। और हमारे जो अपने नौसेना बल के जहाज जो हैं, वहाँ पर हमारे जो भी हमारे जहाज वहाँ चलती है, कमर्शियल वेसल्स, उसको किस प्रकार से सुरक्षित करें, इस पर लोग तत्पर काम कर रहे हैं और वहाँ लगे हुए हैं। And we have more questions then. Kaushik?
Hi, sir. Krishnan Kaushik from Reuters. So my question is about Iran again. You mentioned the larger maritime security aspect that was discussed during the meeting. What I want to ask is, did the EM specifically raise the issue of the two ships that were attacked close to India's EEZ during his conversations in Iran? Because one more ship was attacked yesterday again, which was supposed to be headed towards India. So what are these issues specifically addressed in the meeting?
1, 2, 3, there. Yeah.
Nainima from ABP Live. If you can give us an assessment as to what is happening to India's projects that are going on in Maldives, do you foresee any hurdles in executing them? Thank you.
Yeah, Shubhajyoti from BBC News. My question is on Bangladesh. There are reports of attacks on minority Hindu community in several places of the country, and that happened immediately after the election. Would you like to make any comments, sir?
My name is Ganesh. I'm from BBC News Marathi. I have a question regarding World Economic Forum summit taking place in Davos, Switzerland. Sir, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Eknath Shinde, along with his delegation, is attending this summit. But the opposition leader, Shri Aditya Thackeray, has accused Shinde of taking a large delegation of around 35 people. Thackeray has raised questions about whether the Ministry of External Affairs has granted political clearance to all these 35 people to attend the summit. If not, then for how many people ME has granted the clearance, and what is the criteria to give clearance to give political clearance to state governments while attending international events? Thank you.
Okay. Kaushik, to your question regarding the matter being raised specifically or not, you see, all aspects of importance, of regional importance and global importance were discussed. Maritime security, what's happening in Red Sea area, what's happening with the security of the area, they were discussed. It is very difficult to say that these specific things were discussed or not. I don't know, but all aspects of mutual concern to both countries were discussed. Nainima, regarding your projects in Maldives, obviously the core group meeting happened on 14th. On our part, we remain committed to our projects to take them forward. We have been an important development partner of Maldives. We remain committed to doing all things that we can do as a development partner of Maldives in keeping with their priorities. So that is where I leave it. Shubhajyoti, your question was regarding Bangladesh. Elections were held recently. We the verdict came out. People of Bangladesh voted in a particular fashion. Prime Minister congratulated Sheikh Hasina on the victory. As far as law and order is concerned, these are issues that pertain to Bangladesh. It's for them to take things in their stride. Ganesh, your question regarding delegation to Davos. Now, when we have state governments and other government people going abroad, obviously political clearance is given by the Ministry of External Affairs. Can we have more questions then? एक तो हो गया आपने. Please.
Hello. Sir, I'm Akhilesh Suman. On 22nd of January, there is inauguration of Ram Temple in Ayodhya. Can you give us any idea that whether you have invited any foreign dignitaries, and is there any arrangement in Indian embassies or missions all over the world to show that ceremony live?
अब पहले दूसरे को मौका दे दीजिए.
Hi, I'm Megha from NewsX, and my question is, amidst these multiple attacks that have happened in the Gulf of Aden or even in the Indian Ocean or the Arabian Sea, are there any restrictions on SOPs that the Minister of External Affairs has issued to the Indian nationals who are aboard these ships? Second of all, are these rescue measures or counterattack measures with destroyers being sent to Gulf of Aden or other parts of the Indian Ocean region restricted to vessels that contain Indian nationals only?
Yeah, my question is that at the invitation of EM, Bangladesh Foreign Minister is visiting India on 7th February, just after 1 month, the general election is over in Bangladesh. So my question is whether it's any specific agenda you have or it's a routine bilateral visit? Because he has been appointed 1 month, a few days ago rather.
Wait.
This is Manas Pratim Bhuyan for PTI. I'd like to ask you about India's overall assessment of the current scenario arising out of Iran's attack on Pakistan and then Pakistan's counter-attack, actually. Your reaction was yesterday's reaction. But how do you see today's situation, the Pakistan again retaliating the Iranian attack? And it comes against the backdrop of the very volatile situation in the Red Sea. I mean, there has been global concerns about what is happening in the Red Sea, and then now we have the attacks and counterattacks between Iran and Pakistan. So how do you see this scenario? And just a little clarification, did you say that Indian Navy is also carrying out patrols in the Red Sea? And just I have a confusion. And related, not related, but on Maldives, actually, when you say workable, we are working on a mutually workable solution. So are we suggesting that, in fact, some portion of our troops will stay back, or what kind of mutually workable solution that we are looking at? Thank you.
सर जयप्रकाश दैनिक जागरण से. सर जो ईरान और पाकिस्तान में जो भी अभी इशू है उसमें जिन आतंकी संगठनों के नाम आ रहे हैं बीएलएफ, बीएलए या जैश अदल, इसको लेकर भारत का आधिकारिक पोजीशन क्या है?
ठीक है अखिलेश जी, आपका सवाल अयोध्या को लेके था. इसके बारे में हम लोग पहले ही बताया था कि अयोध्या का जो कार्यक्रम है उसके होस्ट वहाँ के ट्रस्ट हैं. तो कौन विदेश से आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है उनको ज़्यादा पता होगा, और उनका ये आधिकारिक क्षेत्र है. उसमें किनको बुलाएं नहीं बुलाएं. जहाँ तक विदेशों में इसको दिखाने की बात है, उस पर भी मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि ये जो कार्यक्रम है ये ट्रस्ट जो है इसको ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहा है, और मैं यहीं पर बात को रखना चाहता हूँ. की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. ये तो वो कर रहे हैं ना, वो कर रहे हैं, होस्ट उसके वो हैं, तो वो देखेंगे उस पर किस प्रकार से करना है, इसको आगे ले जाना है. Megha, your question was regarding, could you repeat once again your questions?
Yeah, the Indian nationals who are traveling, who are sailing on these merchant vessels, are there any restrictions that are going to be imposed by the MEA or SOPs and guidelines be given to them because their life is at risk? Second of all, the number of patrol ships, the destroyers that at this point of time are navigating the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden from the Indian side, from the Indian Navy side, are we only responding to rescue calls of merchant ships that contain Indian nationals?
So, to answer your question, Indian Navy is doing patrolling in the region to secure the lanes. They are there to protect Indian shipping lines, of course. But at the same time, today also there was a report that they reached out uh, to a ship that was flagged that had a flag of some other country. So they are also providing support to ships of other countries as well. That is where it is. Um, on the question of advisory, this is a very technical, very specific issue. I don't have any update on that, so I'll come back to you subsequently.
Vessels that have been rescued or a clarion call has gone out to the Indian Navy. They have all contained Indian nationals. Indian nationals were aboard all those specific incidents.
I don't have very specific details in regard to that, but obviously they have responded to several calls. Gautamji, your question regarding visit of Foreign Minister of Bangladesh. On our part, of course, any such visits we announce at an appropriate time when the time comes. We have seen some reports in that regard. So you'll come to know more about the details, etc., as we come closer to the date. Manas, regarding your question on Pakistan, Iran, Pakistan. Yesterday, we gave a statement which was very clear what our position is on that particular issue, our position on terrorism, and on the question of of today's Pakistan's strikes. We don't want to make any comment. What is your question on Maldives? You're asking too many questions at the same time.
What kind of workable solution that we are looking at? Maldives has very clearly said that Indian troops will have to just come back.
So, as I told you, first core group meeting happened on 14th. The second meeting is to happen soon, hopefully, in India. These are discussions which are ongoing. We should not prejudge the outcome of it. So, hopefully, both sides will come to some sort of understanding. जयप्रकाश जी, हाँ, आपका सवाल वही ईरान को लेके था, ईरान पाकिस्तान को लेके था। हाँ, तो उसमें ये है कि जो हम लोगों ने कहा है कल के हमारे अपने जो प्रेस रिलीज विज्ञप्ति जो निकाली थी, उसमें जो हम लोगों ने कहा है वही हमारा पोजीशन है। उसके आगे मैं कोई कमेंट करना नहीं चाहूंगा इस मुद्दे पे। Can we take some more then? Okay, so Abhishek and then we go that side and Sudhi.
Hi, sir, this is Abhishek Jha from CNN News 18. My question is regarding this BRICS expansion. Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, has said that 30 more countries are interested in having membership of this organization. And Pakistan has also expressed its interest in the past to join this organization. Your take on both expansion of the BRICS and Pakistan keenness on being member?
Hi, sir. So I'm Amity Sen. I work for the Hindu Business Line. So on the Red Sea crisis, you said that India is doing its best to secure its trade sea routes. So to my understanding, our Navy operates only on the Arabian Sea, right, sir? So in the Red Sea, are we hoping that this US-led coalition, it would somehow like it would basically look after our cargo, whatever goes through that route, or are we now just focusing on the Cape of Good Hope and are not thinking of using the Red Sea for the time being.
Okay. Sudhi.
Sir, Shudhiranjan from Bloomberg. Associated question with Amitisa. I mean, we have our Navy operating in the Arabian Sea and the multinational force in the Red Sea. We did not kind of openly or join them. We were operating on our own. Given that these attacks are increasing, are there any institutional level talks between the US, UK, and India on this? If you could give us an understanding, sir.
Okay. A friend there behind, yes.
जी मैं मनीष झा बोल रहा हूँ TV9 भारतवर्ष से मेरा सवाल प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रोन की विजिट को लेकर है आई एम श्योर कि उस पर आप अलग से ब्रीफिंग जरूर करेंगे लेकिन बहुत सारी सूचनाएं जो सोर्सेज बेस पर आ रही है कि प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रोन जयपुर लैंड करेंगे शाही पैलेस में उनका स्वागत होगा प्राइम मिनिस्टर वहां रहेंगे अगर आप कुछ शेयर कर सकें कि क्या इस बार अनयूजुअल वो जयपुर में दोनों नेताओं की मीटिंग होगी और फिर वहीं पर उनका रोड शो भी होगा थैंक यू
तो मनीष सबसे पहले मैं आपका सवाल का जवाब देना चाहूँगा। प्रेसिडेंट माक्रोन का भारत में इंतज़ार है, लेकिन उनके प्रोग्राम का क्या स्वरूप है, वो अभी तय नहीं हुआ है। जब तय होगा तो आपको बताया जाएगा, आपसे साझा किया जाएगा। Sudhi, regarding your question on Arabian Sea and Red Sea, what's happening, our position has been very clear. We are looking at the unfolding situation there. We are concerned about what's happening, the deterioration in the security situation. Our Navy vessels, Navy ships are there patrolling the area, and they are trying to do their best to secure the Indian shipping lines and also giving support to others. So that is where we are. We are looking at the unfolding situation. We are not part of any multilateral arrangement as of now. Abhishek, your question was on BRICS expansion. As you know, the last BRICS summit was held in Johannesburg, where 6 members were admitted. There is established procedure in the BRICS system of working on how to get more members to join. It is a matter which the group decides. It is a matter which is for the group member BRICS member countries to take forward. Who becomes a member, when it becomes a member, is a question which the established procedure will be. I mean, the group BRICS member countries will be looking at as and when the time comes. The question on Hindu from the Hindu was on similar lines as Sudhi, so I hope it answers your question as well.
Just a bit on Cape of Good Hope and the Red Sea. So would you want that for the time being only this route should be used and the Red Sea best avoided?
See, the situation is precarious, is risky in the Red Sea area, this area. I understand that there are international shipping lines which are taking the Cape of Good Hope. That obviously is impacting the flow of commerce, is delaying commerce. It is impacting interests of people across the world. It is impacting availability of products and services, delaying things. So that is where it is. But that Cape of Good Hope route is open for anybody and everybody who wants to use it. The situation is a little is risky in this part, closer to the Red Sea, closer to Gulf of Aden, Arabian Sea, etc. I think we've already we too many questions. So if you can grow, okay. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and then okay. So Huma.
So I'm Huma Siddiqui, Financial Express. There are reports that the UNG president is coming. So, would the situation in the Red Sea be discussed with him, and South Africa set to file a case against US and UK regarding the Israel conflict?
Samira, and then we go there.
I just wanted to follow up on the question from one of my colleagues here with regards to whether or not India is going to be joining any kind of coalition in the Red Sea. You said that right now India is not part of any coalition as of now. Does that mean that there are conversations happening about joining some sort of coalition? Is this is this being discussed at all?
Okay. Pia?
So just a clarification, did the Indian government receive any communication from the Mizo government last year about a potential state visit? Just as yes or no would be greatly appreciated.
Piriji?
Sir, a couple of days back, there was a news report that Indian Army had given medals of valor to two reported incidences along the line of actual control. 7 जनवरी को और 27 नवंबर सन 22 को ये दो इंसिडेंसेस हुए और इनके गैलेंट्री अवार्ड्स दिए गए अभी 2-3 दिन पहले। गलवान के बाद ये दो बड़े इंसिडेंसेस हुए हैं, इसके बारे में बहुत कम जानकारी है। हमारे जवानों ने बड़े अच्छे से हम लोगों ने क्या प्रोटेस्ट किया फॉर्मली चाइना को और इस पे कुछ प्रकाश डालेंगे सर?
So, Huma, regarding the visit of the President of the UN General Assembly, that visit will be announced as and when we get more details. Obviously, the agenda of the visit also will be known to you or will be shared at an appropriate time. Samira, regarding your question, look, the situation in the region, Red Sea and Gulf of Aden is we have seen all that has happened, all that is happening. We are keeping a close watch at the unfolding situation. That is where I would like to leave it. Priya, regarding the visit that you asked, both India and Maldives, we've remain engaged always to facilitate high-level engagements whenever high-level engagements are in the offing, with a constructive agenda on mutually convenient dates and timelines. So I will leave it at that. Both sides remain engaged to facilitate high-level engagements with a constructive agenda on mutually convenient timelines. विनीत, जहां तक चीन का सवाल है, पिछले भी प्रेशर में हमने कहा था कि हमारे रिलेशन जो हैं वो नॉर्मल नहीं है। हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने कहा है कि ये नॉर्मल नहीं है और दो तरीके से जो हम चाहते हैं कि जो बॉर्डर एरियाज पे शांति का माहौल बने, इसके लिए हम लोगों ने एक दो तरीके से पहल किया है। एक है कि मिलिट्री टू मिलिट्री लेवल पे बातचीत चल रही है और दूसरा है कि राजनयिक लेवल पे बात चल रही है, डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पे बात चल रही है। अक्टूबर के महीने में पिछले साल और नवंबर के महीने में पिछले साल हम लोगों ने ये बातचीत की ताकि हम लोग आने वाले दिनों में ये मीटिंग्स और आगे जाएंगी और देखा जाएगा किस प्रकार से हम लोग स्थिति को बेहतर कर सकते हैं। तो मैं इस सवाल को यहीं पर रखना चाहूँगा, विशेष टिप्पणी नहीं देना चाहूँगा जो आपने जो सवाल पूछे, मतलब जो स्पेसिफिक जो बातें कही। Sorry.
Can you repeat the answer in English, please?
For this one? So on India-China relations, we had made ourselves, in the last presser also this question had come up. Our External Affairs Minister has made it clear that the relations are not normal. Presently we are engaged both diplomatically and militarily. We have talks at the military to military level and diplomatic at the diplomatic level. In the months of October and November last year, we had these talks to take things forward. We'll have the next round of military and diplomatic talks later, as and when both sides agree to convene them. So that is where we are. So if we can, sorry. So we haven't, yes, please.
I'm Preeti, independent journalist. Sri Lankan Navy has captured 18 Indian fishermen along with 2 trawlers. Any reaction from the Navy?
I'm not aware of this particular incident, but I can share with you more details as I get them. Good that you have brought it to my attention. I will check and revert back to you. So with that, we can conclude the press engagement. We can have, I look forward to having more discussion with you subsequently.